Mchan, the floor is yours.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Mchan338, and welcome to Pokemon Yellow. Very excited to be running this game, and today I am joined with.
Yeah, hi Kevin83. Welcome all. Great to see everyone joining on the stream, and excited to see Mchan's run today.
Alrighty. So I'm going to do a bit of setup here before we get started. Gotta set the options before we begin the run here. Typical for Pokemon games. Alrighty. And time is going to begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty, so this is Pokemon Yellow, Special Pikachu Edition for the Game Boy Color. It is the definitive edition of Red and Blue for the first generation of Pokemon. Most people who are familiar with Gen 1 speedruns are mainly familiar with Red and Blue, so you might think that Yellow might be similar, and it is true in terms of going through the story, but Yellow is actually very different. The beginning is actually different right off the bat, so if you play Pokemon, you know that you have a choice between 3 different Pokemon. In Yellow, that is not the case. You actually start off with a Pikachu, and your rival starts off with an Eevee. And then your rival, also traditional in Pokemon games, your rival bases his team off of what starter you choose. In this game, your rival still changes his team depending on specific criterias. It's not immediately obvious, but the way it works is his team is based off of how well the first 2 rival fights go. Now, the second rival fight is optional, so that counts as a loss. So, if we win the first rival fight, then later on, the rival will evolve his Eevee into a Flareon. If you lose the rival fight, then he will evolve his Eevee into a Vaporeon. If you win the optional fight, then he will evolve his Eevee into Jolteon, but you're never going to be seeing Jolteon. In this fight, it doesn't particularly matter if we win or lose. Ideally, we want to win. That way, the routing isn't very difficult. The route's pretty hard with Vaporeon, but it's still possible. So hopefully we see a win here.
Yeah, and one fun thing I love to point out early in these speedruns is the animation that happens when you encounter Pikachu just a minute ago is longer depending on how you have named your rival, because of a bug with them not understanding that you don't have any Pokemon in your party yet when you encounter that Pikachu. So when it goes to check what your first Pokemon in your party's level is against the wild Pokemon, you don't have a Pokemon. It goes off into garbage data, which happens to be where you were naming your rival.
Alright, so we're just going to spam Thundershock and hope that we win. So,
oh, crit's
Eevee's
good.
Tackle does, yeah, crit's pretty good.
Okay, you're in good shape. You're in good shape.
Okay, there we go. All right, so winning is what we want to see.
Do you buffer during like the HP bar going down, or do you wait to tap near the end?
I do a little bit of both.
Yeah, there's so many things that you can buffer in Pokemon Yellow. There's the fly menus. You can buffer, like if you hold down while doing fly and then press left and right, you can go to different cities faster than just pressing left and right alone. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay,
Crazy.
So as we go up and about through, we have to go through Route 1 a few times and go through these random encounters. Not much we can do about that. That rival fight is actually the only fight where we're going to be using Pikachu. If you've played this game before, then you know that Pikachu is not a very good Pokemon. And so if you've played this game before, then you might know that there's 3 different Pokemon that stand a significant chance against the first major roadblock that Pikachu would have, which is Brock. And that would be a Caterpie that you can evolve into a Butterfree at level 10. You can also get a Mankey that learns Low Kick at level 9, or there is a Nidoran male that will learn Double Kick at level 12. Out of the 3 Pokemon, the best of the 3 that we're going to be using is going to be Nidoran male. Nidoran male as well as not even just on Brock, but like on like everything else, is such a busted Pokemon to use. So we will be quickly switching to Nidoran Male. So here's our first optimization here. I'm talking to Oak from behind. This looks really weird, but the reason we talk to Oak from behind is a bit of camera manipulation. Because coming up here, the rival is going to spawn on screen, and he moves really slow. And so by scrolling the camera further, then the rival will take less steps to move off screen. Now, to find a good Nidoran, it is about a 5% chance, but there is a way for us to significantly increase the 5%, and that is what we call RNG manipulation. Now, RNG manipulation does sound daunting, but it's not super hard once you get it down. But I can still very much mess it up. So. Do you want to explain how RNG manipulation works?
Yes, I would absolutely love to, Mchan. So, Pokemon Yellow has a very, very flawed RNG system. The RNG basically is just taking a timer of how long the system has been on, and repeatedly adding that timer to itself or subtracting it to get two different RNG values. And because of that, there's serious problems with RNG. One of them is that RNG state is not saved between runs. It restarts from the very beginning every time you restart the game. So because you can buffer your inputs through the intro sequence and press the buttons through the intro sequence reliably at the exact same time with those buffers, you can reliably cause the RNG to be in the same state when you load back into the game every time. And then we can create walk paths that are different lengths or different directions to further adjust the RNG to be exactly where we need to get an encounter with specific stats. That's what Mchan is going to be doing for this run. In other runs, you can also manipulate the RNG in real time to get specific Pokemon that you want. So there's 10 different encounter slots in every patch of grass, and those encounter slots effectively rotate cyclically due to the poor design of the RNG. And Mchan just got very unlucky, got an encounter on the exact tile he walked into the grass. So, not ideal, but we know we're in a marathon. We're not going to care. Also, you got a beefy Pikachu there. Beefachu with that 20 HP. And there we have our Nidoran. Level 6 every time.
That's crazy.
Okay, that felt really good, so hopefully that was good. Alright, it worked!
I didn't even think about the catch, my bad. I should have been silent for a few minutes.
Wait, does it manip the capture too? Sorry if I'm asking too many questions.
No, you're doing great. Yes, we manipulate both the encounter and the capture because we can buffer the throw for the catch. Now the catch throw is
okay. That's a good Nidoran.
Okay, great. Good idea checking that.
Even if even if you manipulate everything correctly there, that Nidoran can actually still be that Nidoran can still not be have good stats for the run to be viable. So I had to check the stats there to make sure it was good.
And that's caused by the math that advances the clock in the game can cause different numbers of cycles to happen based on exactly at what point in the clock you are at. So there's a small chance that you cause the clock to roll over at the wrong time, change the point in the RNG slightly, and then get a Nidoran that does not have the correct stats.
Alright, so here we are in Viridian Forest. So we have to fight a few trainers. The last trainer is the only required one, but we're going out of our way to fight these optional trainers. Normally in like typical RPG speedruns, You don't want to do optional fights because it's slow. But if we go straight to the last trainer as fast as we can, we'd be significantly underleveled, and we would not have double kick for Brock, which would lose us like many minutes. So these extra trainers with the extra experience will help us learn, get to level 12 just before Brock. So I'm using Leer on these first few Pokemon to lower their defense, that way a tackle can do more damage. Now, something that's worth noting about using Leer is if you land a critical hit, normally critical hits are good, but critical hits are actually bad when you're using Leer, because critical hits ignore all stat modifications. So you try not to get crits in these first few fights.
Yeah. You actually prefer not to get the crits. It's very annoying.
Yeah.
At least
Alright, so...
after a few hardens, you might prefer it again, though.
Yeah. Alright, so this trainer is technically slower than the other optional trainer that is in this forest, but we fight this trainer because there's going to be another RNG manipulation that we're going to be doing after this fight that will manipulate the whole forest on top, and then also chaining it to a Pidgey encounter that we can use for Fly. Viridian Forest's encounter rate in yellow is pretty ridiculous, so this manipulation is worth doing.
Yeah. When I did my routing for this game, this was the one thing that I chose not to route around, and the reason... Oh, that's a great critical hit.
That's a really good crit, yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I didn't route was this, because in my routing philosophy, I had wanted to create more variants in the early game. And I'm going to be quiet from here, because we do not want to mess with Mchan's minute.
Oh, that's an IGT.
Ooh, gotta resave.
Yeah. So that can happen. If you save at the incorrect frame, which there's not really a way to keep track of that. Recently, there is a way, but I am not using the in-game time tracker. Yeah, if you save at the wrong frame, then the in-game timer can affect the manips. Alright, there's my encounter.
Hey.
Alright, so there is a YOLO ball here similar to what I did for Nidoran, but I'm not going to go for it. I am not very good at it, so I go for I just weaken it and then throw a Pokeball at it. I'm going to heal after this catch.
Very fair strat for Marathon, too.
Yeah. So, so it does look like with these manips that I'm moving in a very specific way, and that is true, but something else I'm also doing while I'm doing very specific movement is I'm also pressing A on certain tiles, and that adds lag to your movement because the game's trying to track a hidden item, and those A presses are very important.
Yeah, the A press causes a 2-frame lag while it checks if there's NPC or item in front of you, and that 2-frame lag is very useful as one of the ways of creating variants to cause different manipulations.
Alright, so this is the, like I said, this is the only required trainer, and this trainer is really annoying in red because he has a Weedle instead of a Caterpie, and even if he did have a Weedle in this game, it would not be a problem because we're using Nidoran, who's a poison type that cannot get poisoned.
Yeah, you have to swap train your Nidoran in red.
Yeah. Okay, so we're out of the forest, and now we're going to heal up so we can get our power points back, as well as our HP if we've taken a lot of damage. And then we're also going to deposit our Pikachu, because Pikachu actually causes extra cutscenes, so we don't want to see those. He makes a devastating sound if you deposit him, unfortunately.
So sad.
No.
I like Pikachu, but he's just not that good in this game.
We've had a lot of people in chat reminiscing over the chonky Pikachu in this game. I feel like some of them are going to be slightly disappointed by that decision, but in the name of speed.
Yeah. Alright, so we're still not level 12 yet, so we're going to go ahead and fight this optional trainer as well. I'm also going to do a safety save, because I'm not very likely to die, but if I do die, then it's pretty bad. This guy likes to crit me, so just going to take the save in case in case he crits me a lot. So, if he crits me one time, then that's fine, because then I will leave this fight at Red Bar. So Red Bar is basically the low HP sound. When you have Red Bar, then the game makes this really annoying beeping sound, and that actually speeds up the game. And so if you're going for PB attempts, you try to be on Red Bar so you can save time on jingle skips in the fights.
So I also created the tasks for this game, and oh, interesting. This is a little scary here. Okay, we're not dead yet.
Yeah, because that crit's bad because that horn attack could have been a range. If I miss the range, then
yeah.
I don't kill the Sandshrew.
That was dangerous. But yeah, this is actually this fight here is the hardest fight in the task in terms of the RNG you have to manipulate. You have to manipulate 2 1 in 39 critical hits on the Sandshrew, while also manipulating Gen 1 misses.
Yeah. A Gen 1 miss is basically a move that is 100% accurate, has a 1 out of 256 chance of missing.
Even though it's stated theoretically to both be 100% accurate, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, the fun fact about the TAS is that before I did the yellow TASs, TAS videos had banned using Red Bar because it was too annoying for viewers.
That's really funny. Oh,
and I was part of the revolution of like, no, we're this is tool assisted speed running, not tool assisted fun time.
Alright, so Brock is really annoying here. So the annoying part is the Onyx here. Yep, here it goes, it begins. So Bind is really bad because as you can see it's a trap move, and he can basically trap me for quite a while, and he traps me in between 2 to 5 turns, and I cannot act while I'm trapped in Bind. And because this Onyx outspeeds me, he can just keep using Bind, and I lose a lot of HP, and in turn lose a lot of items. That is really annoying, especially for grinding attempts. So this is definitely the first roadblock, even in attempts, even after you get double kicked for this fight.
Well, extra safe there. I think you went an extra Leer just to be safe with the buy to take less damage.
Yeah.
That's really smart.
Yeah. He did. I stalled three times because in order to play around the long bind, where sometimes he can take an extra turn to charge up bind.
I want to say it's 50-50 to do 2 or 3 turns.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a thing? I'm sorry. Every now and then I hear a fact about Gen 1 games where it's just like, yeah, no, it worked this way. And I'm
if
like,
you keep listening, you're going to hear a lot of that.
Yeah, Gen 1 is very different from the other gens going forward.
There are a lot of very esoteric and weird bugs that speedrunners use in these games that are just completely unknown otherwise.
Yeah. Alright, so now that we're done with Brock, we're now moving on to Route 3. Route 3 is significantly easier in this game in comparison to Yellow, mainly because we're significantly higher. We're significantly higher level, so we have a significantly less chance of dying. But you can still lose quite a bit of time. There are some fights where you can lose quite a bit of time with not much you can do about it. This will also be a good time. Now that we got our first badge, you want to talk about how badge boosting works?
Yes, so the 4 trainers of Brock, Surge, Koga, and Blaine give boosts to your stats. So Brock boosts your attack by 9/8, Surge boosts your speed by 9/8, Koga boosts your defense by 9/8, and then Blaine boosts your special by 9/8. Now, I think actually, I think I just said what they're supposed to be. In reality, Surge boosts your defense by 9/8, and Koga boosts your speed by 9/8, and the text in the game is also wrong. But in addition to the text in the game not matching what the boosts actually are, or even what thematically makes sense, because Surge is supposed to be like this speedy lightning guy, right? The badge boosts have a serious bug that if anything causes stats to change during a battle, the badge boost gets reapplied. So if instead of just 1 9/8 boost, if you get leered, now you have 2 9/8 attack boosts. So there's certain scenarios where we actually want to have our stats changed because we will suddenly be able to do more damage. And we can set that up for ourselves by using X items. So if we use an X speed, for instance, our attack will be higher later in the game. Or our speed will be higher if we use an X attack or X special.
Yeah, so in the case of some of these Pokemon using String Shot, that actually is boosting our attack.
Yeah, 9/8 times the base number. So if it would be something before, it's now 9/8 times that.
While we're handling this bug catcher, would y'all mind if I stepped in with a message?
Go for it.
All right, so we actually had a very generous $38 anonymous donation come in. It says, "Yo, we doing Pokedex donations? Donating for a Gen 1 favorite, number 38, Ninetales." And I absolutely agree. I want to hear y'all in the donations, or even just in the chat if you're just watching live. I want to hear about your favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. Or shoot, if you want to go later Gen, absolutely go for it.
Yeah, let us know what your favorite Pokemon is.
Yes, please. I want to hear. I'm a big Breloom fan personally.
Breloom. Okay, good choice. Good choice.
That's my goat.
Unfortunately, lots of weaknesses though. Due to its typing, yeah. But yeah, I like Breloom. My favorite personally is Mudkip.
That has to be up there.
We're all of the same era then, because I played Pokemon Ruby a ton growing up, and Groudon is probably one of my favorite Pokemon in the game.
Oh yeah, for me personally, I was a little too little, so I had to like climb over my brother's shoulder while he played Pokemon Sapphire. This is like one of these days.
Yeah, I grew up a lot with Gen 4. Oh, that's a really good crit right there. I grew up with a lot of Gen 4, so I have a massive soft spot for Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, as well as Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Okay, so we're coming up to the final manipulation of the run, which is Mount Moon. It's the hardest one, the longest one. Basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go through the entire dungeon without any encounters. It does sound crazy. Fortunately, if this goes wrong, then it's not as important, but I would like to be able to successfully pull it off, so let's go.
You got this.
There it is.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go.
All right.
Oh.
that is really hard to do. Oh man.
I'm stunned. I'm floored. Y'all, I need y'all to donate after that. Like, that was ridiculous. Holy crap.
Yeah, so a couple things there. I got a Moonstone and a Rare Candy. Definitely going to be using those. I used the Moonstone to evolve Nidoking, or Nidorino to a Nidoking. So now we already have a Stage 3 evolution right off the bat, making Nidoran really powerful. Yeah. Let's see. Chat, real quick, before we continue, which fossil should I pick? Dome or Helix? Please let me know right now. What do you guys want?
I mean, we gotta praise Lord Helix, right? It's just the culture.
Great crit there on the coughing.
Yeah, that's a good crit right there. That coughing is normally a range to two-shot, but that crit definitely helps. Okay, we're seeing a lot of Helixes, so I'm gonna pick up Helix. Oh, more domes after that? Oh, man.
Yeah,
maybe next time. Maybe next time. Oh, man.
Was it the last possible tile encounter?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can still get encounters even after that, but we're towards the end of Mount Moon, so you're not that likely to get an encounter towards the end. So that was a little bit unlucky. Okay, so this is new to Yellow. Which is Jesse and James. They're not very interesting for the most part.
That's not very nice. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I guess while we're taking care of business here, if you don't mind me stepping in.
Yeah, sure.
I have a $10 donation from Barakiel that says, making this on behalf of my friend Rose. I'm honored to be a part of your journey, and I'm excited to see where it takes you. Long live the Bionic Pipeline. Also, donation to kill Lord British, because it's what she would want. And as a reminder, chat, we have a bid war coming up for the run directly after Pokemon Yellow for Ultima 9, which is whether or not we're going to save or kill Lord British, and that's going to extend the lead even further for killing Lord British. So if you believe in treating Lord British morally and ethically, then y'all gotta get in your donations in. And make sure y'all add that, either that bid war or an incentive that I'll talk about in a little bit coming up when you donate. But thank you so much.
Mchan just got another sick crit there while they were doing that donation read on the coughing.
Yeah,
Double
both those
coughing
coughings are normally like really unfavorable ranges. So yeah, and by the way, when we mention ranges, it means that not every move does the same amount of damage. So like sometimes you can one-shot a Pokemon in some attempts, and in other attempts you barely miss the range, and then you just waste time.
Yeah, every attack does between 85 and 100% of the stated or calculated amount of damage to do. So on the low end of that, the 85% then also gets rounded down. So you can do actually like 84.5% or something. And that kind of rounding, the 8-bit rounding that happens in Pokemon also is why, like, you've probably thought for a long time that the move Tackle is not actually 95% accurate. Well, you're right. It's like 94.2% accurate or something. So it actually misses like 20% more often than you'd think if it were 95% accurate.
Yeah, so going back here to get the rare candy, and now we're approaching the next rival fight. So this is a pretty notorious fight, both in Red and Blue and in Yellow. In Red and Blue, you're just very likely to die, but in Yellow, this fight is, you don't really die in this fight, but you can just straight up waste time, like minutes, because well, the first Pokemon's Spearow, which the thing that can go wrong against a Spearow is Spearow can either use Fury Attack, which is waste time, or it can use Growl, which sets us up pretty poorly for the rest of the fight. And Growl is bad because the next Pokemon he's going to send out is going to be Sandshrew, who has Scratch and Sand Attack. Sand Attack will lower our accuracy by 1/3, And if the Sandshrew gets a bunch of sand attacks in, then that can be really bad. And it begins. All right, just hits. Oh man.
Oh no!
Oh man. All right, I'm gonna do this.
Swapping not a bad idea in a marathon.
Yeah. So I just gotta hope that he scratches my Pidgey, so that way I can switch back to Nidoking and get my accuracy back. So that is really unfortunate, especially for attempts. When you're on a really good run and then you get to this point, then you just lose all that pace usually. That is a pretty good crit right there.
Amazing.
Okay,
Recovered.
Rattata don't have to. Oh, that's a Gen 1 miss. Oh
Gen
man.
1 miss. That is not because of the sand attack. The swapping back and forth got rid of the sand attack changes. That was a 1 in 256 Gen 1 miss in a marathon.
That's crazy. I can't believe I got it that early. Okay, so then the Eevee also has sand attack. If you do not get a high roll on double kick, then Eevee will survive and then we'll have a chance of sand attack. So that's 2 Pokemon that can use sand attack. So a lot of things that can go wrong in this fight. You got to see a small example of how wrong this fight could go. So there we go, and now we're moving on to Nugget Bridge, which is pretty much a gauntlet of a lot of trainers back to back. In yellow, it's really chill because we're much higher level, and in red, it's actually very different because you have a move called Mega Punch, which is 85 accuracy, and then also, addition to that, you would have a trick known as Instant X. Instant X does not work in yellow. That's one of the most common questions asked when watching a yellow speedrun is why don't we use Instant X here? That's because it doesn't work in yellow. So that makes Nugget Bridge like really easy in terms of surviving. So yeah.
Devs patched it. Thanks,
Yeah.
Dev.
Yeah, so the thing that makes Instant X really bad in this section is depending on how your rival fight goes, you could end at like really low HP. And the thing is like in red, if you have Instant X, then you try your best not to open any menus because it breaks the Instant X. So even if you're in a situation where you like need to heal, then you really don't want to in an attempt to save Instant X as much as possible. But here in yellow, we don't have to worry about that.
Yup.
Yo, can I step in real quick? I have some very exciting news.
All right, go ahead.
We just had a $389 donation come in from Lilac, who says, donating for that Manip. Also, my favorite Pokemon is Torterra. I had a jolly female Torterra once in a Nuzlocke that I completed, and she was the best. And not only that, we have also reached $1,810 raised for Point of Pride. I cannot believe it. But that, we also met the incentive tomorrow for the All-Ending Showcase for Bears in Space. I am absolutely blown away, y'all. Thank you so much for your generosity.
It's really awesome. Keep it up, everybody. This is still the first day, so there's still a lot more weekend left to go.
Also, that game that you just mentioned, Bears in Space, that sounds amazing.
Would you believe me if I told you it was a first-person shooter?
Mchan here is rare candying up from level 21 to 23. It happens to be a really good breakpoint where you just barely hit level 21, so you can very efficiently use 2 rare candies at that point. And then you get to level 23, which gets you Thrash, which makes the rest of the game much easier because Thrash is very powerful.
Yeah, so the way Thrash works is it is a continuous move. So as soon as I use it once, then I don't have to keep reselecting it again for another 3 or 4 turns. It is 50% chance whether I get the 4th turn. So in these fights here, you try to route in Thrash to where if you're going to win a fight within 3 turns or less, then it's worth using Thrash.
Mm-hmm. It's actually mostly a PP saving technique. even at 3 turns, you are technically still losing time using Thrash because of the really long windup on the first turn. And in an RTA context, you can't ever guarantee the 4th turn of a Thrash.
Yeah.
But it is so efficient on your PP usage that you save a ton of time in using fewer PP items and using fewer Pokemon centers.
And hopefully, if all goes well, there's one required fight where we do have to hope for a 4-turn fight. Sometimes 2 or 3, if the run is really bad. But ideally, there is one fight where we have to rely on a 4-turn fight. So more to that later. Alright, so we reached the end of Nugget Bridge. We gotta fight this Team Rocket guy. He's or at least this trainer is disguised as Team Rocket. Not very nice, but he does give us a nugget, which we're gonna be using for selling. And then after that, we're gonna get the Charmander. So in yellow, you can actually get all 3 of the starter Pokemon. We're only gonna get Charmander because the other 2 Pokemon are basically specific criteria that you have to meet and are just not worth getting. You can technically get Squirtle, but Squirtle is just barely a few steps away. And then also Squirtle comes with like 3 moves, or at least for a water Pokemon. And there's one coming up later that we get that's only 2 that comes with 2 moves. So this is also the point right here where if you won the first rival fight, then you have to do something different depending on your situation here. So right now I'm on Flareon, so I can fight the bottom hiker, whereas if you're on Vaporeon route, which is by losing the first rival fight, then you have to fight the top hiker who has 2 Pokemon, as well as get a hidden elixir. And the reason is because in the later rival fights, he will have a Vulpix instead of a Shelter, and Vulpix gives less experience than Shelter. So you need to be able to make up that experience.
And that's for, because you're doing the candying from 34 to 36 strat in the tower, I'm guessing?
Yeah. So yeah, for this specific route that I'm using for the marathon, it doesn't matter. But in normal PB attempts, that does matter.
Got it. Have you ever done the boat candy strat? The gentleman candy?
Yes, I'm going for the gentleman candy for this run.
Oh, you're doing that for this run? Okay, yeah, that makes things a lot more consistent in marathons.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm just thrashing the remaining trainers, so you can go ahead and keep going with more announcements if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been getting a lot of love in our donations here, sharing some of our favorite Pokemon. We have a $11.08 donation from Corundum Core with some math, actually, donating for my 2 favorite Pokemon, Umbreon and Skeledirge. And if you add those up, it's $11.08. I didn't think I was going to be able to handle math at this hour. We also had a $41 donation come in from Zubat. You cannot hope to escape the Zubat. Thank you so much for your donations. Oh, this is too much fun. It's not fair. And it's worth noting as well that, like Curtin Core mentions in chat, the save versus kill Lord British bid war is going to happen during the next run. And with that, a lot of the generosity we've received earlier, saving Lord British has taken a very, very commanding lead. So if you want to destroy a Lord British, then y'all got some work to do, because Save is in the lead by over $160, y'all. So y'all know what to do.
Alright. So I guess we can talk about... Oh, by the way, this is the first point of the game where if you kept your Pikachu up until now, then this is where Pikachu would be like, what the heck is going on here? So this alone it makes depositing Pikachu worth it. But I guess we can talk about Misty. That's the next gym leader coming up. So when I first got to Cerulean City, I could have technically taken on Misty. There was nothing stopping me other than the fact that I would be way, way under-leveled, so it wasn't worth fighting Misty the first time I was there, unless you can do that fight the way the task does it. Good luck on that, if you do. So, so Misty has Staryu and Starmie. She also has what's called Smart AI, which means that Pokemon will always use super effective moves. So Starmie will always use Bubble Beam and Water Gun, even though it also has Harden and Tackle. The fight itself is easy to execute because all you do is use Thrash. But the thing that can go wrong is that Starmie can use Bubble Beam. Starmie also likes to crit us. If Starmie does use Bubble Beam and Speed Falls us, lowers our speed, then we are slower than Starmie. The fight can go really poorly in that case.
So I'm guessing you're gonna be saving before Misty?
Yeah, definitely saving. And I'm also gonna heal because I do not like my HP. So, but first I gotta get past this trainer right here. This Golden can be annoying if it uses Supersonic. So hopefully we don't see Supersonic. Ideally I want to see Tail Whip. Peck, okay, that's fine. Not fine with the critical hit. Alright, so because we're coming up to our first really hard fight, I'm gonna make the run interesting. I'm gonna donate $3 per death. So hopefully the chat can match that.
Yeah, absolutely, y'all. Oh my goodness. Playing fire a little bit, I like it.
Alright. So we want to be at exactly level 25 because we actually just barely outspeed the Starmie by 1 point. That's why Bubble Beam lowering our speed is really bad. Misty can also use an X Defend, which is an item, which would mean that the Starmie will take an extra turn to defeat unless we crit it. So here we go. Okay, that's it. We win.
Nice. We take those.
Alright, so yeah, that looked really easy, but that fight can go very badly. If you watch people do attempts, then you can know that there's several different outcomes on a fight that's like really simple to execute.
Yeah. All things considered, very, very good run so far.
Yeah. But there's still a lot more game left, so... I do have a very generous estimate in comparison to my current PB, and that does assume a combination of really bad luck and multiple deaths. So we're on good track right now.
So I have a question actually. You mentioned, especially with the task stuff, that like you could pretty much manipulate a lot of stuff within the game. Is there a reason like why like maybe you don't go for more manips, or is like the difficulty like level of that sort of? I mean, we saw how ridiculous the Mount Moonstrat was, but
it really has to do with battle manipulation being a completely different beast than the like walking. So
okay,
you can manipulate encounters because when you can buffer through the intro and then you can buffer all of the walking around the map. So if there's a scenario like Mount Moon where you don't have access to repels yet, it's worthwhile to do the same encounter manipulation. You cannot buffer through text boxes. So to do a battle manipulation, you have to hit like 3 frame window out of 60 frames per second. So like 1/20th of a second window, maybe 5-6 times, and then also hit a few more in the battle to then be able to get the battle the outcome you want from the battle. So it's just not... It's something you could do, but there's not any places where the value would outweigh the chance of failing it.
Plus the opportunity cost of, oh, I have to make a save and soft reset.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
So earlier I picked up the Floor Store from the Underground, and it looked like I picked up really fast. And that's because if you actually name your character, I think it's 4 or less characters, then the text is short enough to where you can actually advance the item pickup before the item jingle plays.
Yeah. Classic.
And I did that earlier in Viridian Forest as well to pick up a hidden potion. That was the so I got that Floor Sword really quickly. You'll be seeing another one later when I get the HMO1 cut. Alright, so just a few more trainers here. We're up to just use Thrash. Some of these Pokemon you have Quick Attack, which could be pretty bad. Generally you're not that likely to die here. And then after that, we're gonna go into Vermilion City and do our first shopping. So I picked up TM34 from Brock, which I'm gonna sell. That is Bide. We have no need for Bide. And then we're also gonna sell the Nugget that we got from Nugget Bridge. Our money routing is very particular. So if you've dying actually makes you lose money. So it is really bad to die in this route because you will not have the money to buy everything that you need later on. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and sell the Bide TM, as well as the Nuggets, as well as buy some Repels. Gonna buy 3 of them. It is technically faster to not get Repels if you can get no encounters, but good luck with that. And then as we get into the bridge, or the boat, the SS Anne, we're going to teach the couple TMs that we got. So we got TM11, which is Bubble Beam from Misty.
And we're teaching those here as we've just walked into the boat, because using the menu before turning will save us 2 frames.
Yeah, and there's so many instances of this happening that it does add up. And then we teach the Dig TM to Charmander. Nidoking cannot learn Dig in this game. Nidoking learns Dig up till Gen 3.
Yeah, there's a huge number of weird stuff like that, like Charizard can't learn Fly in Gen 1.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Like, wings? What are wings?
Yeah, there are some weird things where like not every flying Pokemon can use Fly in these early gens. It's really interesting. All right, this turtle fight is really annoying in red, but really easy in yellow. We're not gonna Thrash here because, well, he has 4 Pokemon, and then also not all of his Pokemon go down in 1 hit.
Did you also just do the 2-frame save where you don't walk out of the way of the rival on the boat?
Yeah, I walked I'm on the left side.
Yeah.
On that vertical path.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Did you just say 2-frame save?
Yeah. There's all sorts of stuff we've routed into this game where it's like, okay, walking this path instead of this path saves 2 frames because of this really weird, obscure issue with turn frames.
I'm so blown away by just all the little things you'll have him. Because, like, I think someone would look at something like, oh, it's a glitchless run, so it's just play the game. Obviously, it is play the game fast, but I'm just impressed by the level of detail.
This is probably one of the most thoroughly routed games that exists. There's just such a huge community. So much has been explored.
Okay, and there you go. So that's the other thing right there. I got the HMO1 cut for really quickly. It can still play if you let it play out, but I just advanced the text box really fast because my trainer name is 1 letter. Alright, so now here, normally in attempts, I would actually not go here. This is a completely optional trainer. And the reason I am going here is because it's mainly just to get a few extra levels for the sake of consistency for, the marathon. Because our next fight is Lieutenant Surge, and this extra bit of experience will reduce the amount of things that could go wrong in Surge, and it will also make the next major route right after Surge considerably easier. So fought the gentleman there. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rare candy, so I can be at level 29. Now the thing that makes Surge really hard is without the extra experience, his only Pokemon is Raichu. Raichu can actually outspeed us, but on level 29, we actually outspeed the Raichu. So it reduces the amount of things where where the fight can go wrong. The fight can still go wrong, but not very likely with these extra levels. So yeah, Raichu can crit, Mega Kick. Mega Kick does a lot of damage. It also has Mega Punch. That can also do quite a bit of damage as well. He also has Thunderbolt, and you do want to hope for like either Thunderbolt and X Speed. So yeah. But before we get to Surge, there's also the gym puzzle. So the way the gym puzzle works is there's random trash cans where you have to find the first switch, and then the second switch can have varying percentage of being next to the first can or on the top left can, or it can sometimes be 0%. So that can be fun.
Yep. I don't even know it. I don't remember when you started playing, but I also routed the current order in which you search the cans. There is a extremely small time save by going up the center and then to the top right and then down and back to the left cans. Back in the day, people used to start by searching the bottom left can, but if you do that, you basically are just throwing away the 2 steps there and back at the beginning.
Okay. Alright, here we go.
Yeah, these cans are like also broken. The cans were broken in red and blue, and then they tried to fix it in yellow, and it's actually still broken.
Oh, okay, here we go. Yes, that was pretty fast.
Yes, that's great.
Nice.
Alright. Now even though this fight is significantly easier with these higher levels, there is still the rare chance where this fight can still go wrong anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take the save. And let's do this. So you can imagine that if you don't get the cans really quickly, then you can just lose lots of time. And it's pretty annoying in attempts. In red, there is a manipulation where you can guarantee first try cans, but it is not worth it in yellow. That's a good crit right there.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
That
okay, the
Mega
crit's
Punch.
fine. Alright, we win.
So,
Alright, great.
I guess question: what makes the not manipulating the trash cans not worth it on yellow versus like the Pokemon Red run?
It has to do with how they fixed the cans. In red
Right.
and blue, the cans are even more broken, and so the second can is like just completely random. In yellow, there's enough less randomness of the second can, even though it's still severely broken, that it's worth it to just keep searching. Then you're likely to find it very quickly from any point in which you're searching. So there's no point in which it would be worth ever doing a saving place manipulation.
Got it.
So we went to Diglett's Cave to use Dig. So when you use Dig or any or like an escape rope, then you will get taken back to the last Pokemon Center that you use. So in this case, the last Pokemon Center that I used was in Cerulean City. So I got taken back to Cerulean City without having to go all the way back to Cerulean City. Alright, so the run's been pretty good so far, so this will be our first instance where we have to get a 4-turn Thrash, otherwise things can go pretty badly. So we'll see what happens here. So the thing is if you miss the 4th turn on the second Bellsprout for this trainer, then the second Bellsprout can either use Wrap, Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, or Growth. And what you don't want to see is Wrap or Sleep Powder or Stun Spore.
Yeah, You don't want to see Eminem popping up, the rap god.
Yeah. Okay, we got it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh man.
Ooh, and a crit.
Yeah, that crit actually wastes time because it is going to be a one-shot without it. So it's one of those like optimizations, in a typical Pokemon run. Some crits are usually good, unless you get a crit that you don't want. Alright, so in this fight, the Venonat is usually a range, but with these extra levels, it is guaranteed a one-shot. Alright, so we're coming up to Rock Tunnel, and that is our only dark dungeon of the game. And you might remember Rock Tunnel being like really hard to go through, and you're intended to need Flash, which to get Flash you need to go past Diglett Cave and catch 10 Pokemon. That is very far out of the way, and we also don't have 10 Pokemon. But fortunately, in this game, you can still see the walls around you, so it's not too bad to go through, but you also cannot see the trainers, so you have to be careful with how you move, otherwise you might run into an optional trainer that you don't want to fight. This is also the first point of the run where if you do not have a manipulated Nidoran that has good special, then these Slowpokes won't always go down in one hit. This is also the point where if you're like normally in PB attempts, I would actually do some strats where I would actually manipulate my HP into red bar so I can be at low HP and save time on Jingles. Because this is a very long stretch before we get to the next city, where we try to keep red bar for as much as possible. It can be very risky, but for the sake of the marathon, I'm not going for red bar.
Yeah, I did a theory RTA task once that was like what a human would do at every point if they had perfect control of the RNG, and it turned out in my theory I was like, actually we're not going to play for red bar at all because the healing, the time using items takes so much time in many places.
Alright, so this fight is normally basically a coin flip on whether you hit the range on that Oddish. We call this the Oddish Trainer because a lot of the times you miss the range on the Oddish, and then the Oddish can just massively troll you. But with these extra levels, that is a guaranteed one-shot. So I used a Repel. You probably saw me use a Repel before the Repel wore out. And that is so it refreshes the Repel step count. Repels prevent wild Pokemon encounter for 100 steps, and I refreshed to 100 steps by using another Repel. That is only a Gen 1 thing. In every other gen, you have to wait for the Repel text to show up, where it says Repel's effect wore off, in order to
before
use
you can use
Repel.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. But in Gen 1, you can use a Repel before the text shows up, and it does save time. You don't need the full 300 steps in Rock Tunnel.
That was some really solid biking so far, dude. Good stuff.
Yeah, there are like maybe 6 spots where if I'm on the exact wrong tile, then I hit an optional. And hitting optionals at this point is really bad because that messes with the XP route is very particular in this route.
Yeah, I don't think I mentioned it when we were talking about the badge boosts, but when you level up during battle, it clears out any of the extra badge boosts that you have. So you go back to just having one extra stat times 9/8 boost, and that's very bad if it happens and you're not expecting it to. So a lot of the routing in this is about, okay, we're going to start this battle with this certain level of experience, and we're going to gain levels only once we fought the Pokemon that were faster, that we are close to not being faster than.
All right. Do you have any more announcements, Jaxler?
Yeah, I'd like to take a moment to talk about what we're raising money for. So, for Power Up with Pride 2026, we're raising money for Point of Pride. Point of Pride is a trans-led 501c3 nonprofit, and they are providing life-changing access and life-saving affirmation to trans folks in need of health and wellness care via financial aid and direct support. If you're interested in helping support their mission, go ahead and check out !donate in the chat. That'll take you there, where you can donate and potentially swing the bid war that we have going on for the run directly after Pokemon Yellow, which is Ultima 9. We have a bid war for whether or not we are going to save or kill a certain Lord British. And right now, saving Lord British is in a runaway lead, and I don't know. Look, here's how I see it. If we can kill Mecha Hitler 15 times in a row, then surely we can drum up some support for a Lord British. Surely. I believe in y'all. And again, we also want to hear from y'all, some of y'all favorite Pokemon, or even just favorite memories with the series.
Nice, we get an elixir.
I'd love to hear some of that, either through donations or even just in the chat.
So we did not see Mchan go for this, but there is another 2-frame time save possible when you get that elixir. If you get it from the top instead of from the side, then when you enter the next room, you can go through that whole room without turning, saving the 2-frame turn frame loss. So there's another example of the kind of intensity of the routing we're doing here.
Alright, you want to talk about all the items I'm buying?
Absolutely. Of course, we need super repels and super potions. We don't need that many super potions. We're actually not going to take that much damage for a while because we're going into basically like Uber mode with our Nidoran, where we'll have access to Horn Drill and X accuracy as a combination. We're buying the Pokédoll so that we can do the self-scope skip and not have to go to the underground at all. And by using the Pokédoll on the Marowak Ghost in Lavender Tower. We're buying a Soda Pop to get through the areas of the guard towers between the cities. And I mentioned X accuracy and Horn Drill. In Gen 1, X accuracy does not increase your accuracy. It removes the concept of accuracy from the game for you. So it's very helpful. We're also buying these TMs for... was that you bought Ice Beam and Rock Slide?
Yep.
So we're buying Ice Beam here instead of getting Blizzard. Ice Beam is going to be a much more consistent way of doing for a marathon, killing things like Erica's Pokemon. There's some Pokemon later like the Golbat, I think, in Agatha, and the Dratini's, or I think it's Dragonairs that Lance has, yes. And so there's tons of places where we're going to need an ice move to get through. Normally, you would probably get Blizzard in most advanced speedruns these days, but Ice Beam is more consistent, so great for a marathon strategy, and not really actually significantly slower. The only difference really in terms of speed is just variance. The Blizzard gives you a little better top-end variance. Little extra optimization there. You don't have to go to the top portion of the building there. You get warped to the top portion of the building. It is faster to bike to that building there by like 7 frames or something than it is to walk there. There's just so many little optimizations. But
yeah, and that's a yellow thing, and that doesn't work in red.
I think it has to do with like the color lag of the engine, that like just the overworld stuff can be differently timed. It's very strange stuff. Thanks, Rainover.
Yeah, I gotta give y'all credit just for like the depth of knowledge. I mean, you mentioned earlier just how well studied this game is, but it's just all the knowledge bombs I'm getting, and that everyone watching this run right now is getting, is just unbelievable. So I guess my question then is like how obviously, like the primal question: how do people find this stuff? Or it's just like, what is the, for a game this like, how do things get found? What does it look like for people working on stuff like this?
The routing stuff, what I did was I created a spreadsheet that had every Pokemon that you would reasonably ever fight in the route, and then I could reorder the Pokemon as necessary to try to check the XP breakpoints. The main point where that is useful is...
Hold up. Please don't
got
fight turn. Okay.
Oh,
That was a little scary. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. For now.
no one is panicking. We're good.
The gyms like 4 through 8 can all be fought in whatever order you want. So I was basically able to plug the different trainers you have to fight through those gyms into different orders and find an order that, combining also with timing of rare candies, I mentioned the little 34 to 36 increase, allows you to have the fewest turns used across the entire run. Now, that's not all. There's a whole bunch of other things you have to take into consideration with the routing. The badge boosts you get from Koga. I mentioned that Koga gives a speed boost because there's a bug in the game that Koga gives you the speed boost instead of the defense boost. So rushing Koga becomes much more helpful than sometimes going to the other trainers. Mchan, are you gonna thrash the first trainer in Koga, or do you erase thrash by then?
Earthquake and then thrash.
Okay, that makes sense.
Alright, I'm gonna heal in case I miss Rock Slide. So we got Rock Slide. Rock Slide's a 10% chance of missing, and I have to hit this this first trainer. It's critical because usually you'd be at low HP here. It's pretty important that I don't miss Rock Slide for this first trainer. The other two trainers is fine because you don't really die. But definitely really crucial for this first one.
Yeah. Rock sliding, getting rock slide is necessary because these Ghastlies are ghost type, and you don't have any moves that would hit them and one shot kill them anyways. You have to kill like 4 Ghastlies in a row. So you'd lose like 4 turns, and then there's just huge other problems if you happen to get paralyzed by the Ghastlies use, I think, Lick often and paralyze you, so it just becomes this huge mess. But
yeah,
if you're on a like marginal run where you might not be able to PB and you want to try to save it, there is a potential thing you can do called Rock Slide Skip, where you completely risk all of that and try to get crits with Thunderbolt on all those Ghastlies.
The last marathon run I did of this game, I missed Rock Slide 6 times on that trainer alone, and it was a disaster.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for the raid, Inven.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Welcome on in, everybody. If y'all are, if you don't mind me picking up, if y'all are just getting in here, we are Power Up with Pride, and this is Power Up with Pride 2026. We are raising money for Point of Pride this year. If y'all would like to contribute toward their mission of bettering the lives of trans and LGBT people across the 50 states, feel free to hit !donate in the chat. We got an open bid war coming up for whether or not we are going to spare or destroy Lord British in the Ultima 9 run that is coming up after Pokemon Yellow. So feel free to check that out. Otherwise, feel free to let us know about some of your favorite Pokemon Yellow memories. Actually, question for the people coming in, maybe for some of y'all too. Favorite region? I mentioned Gen 3 earlier.
Yeah,
but...
real quick. So, Jaxler, I got a question for you. You might notice I did not go to the Team Rocket hideout. So, I got a question for you. How am I going to get past this part? Alright, now, is that a glitch, Jaxler?
I mean...
Is that a glitch?
Oh my goodness! I'm seeing the YouTube thumbnail right now in my mind. There's someone out there that is just so mad.
It's basically the most complicated thing we've ever had to decide in terms of deciding what the glitchless category is called, because Pokemon Yellow is so buggy of a game that if you actually try to make a category that was truly glitchless, you wouldn't be able to play the game. Like there's all these audio glitches happening. There's the badge boosts. Like, you can't avoid every glitch in the game. So we have to try to make some weird arbitrary definition of like the cutoff point of what is too many glitches. And that one is probably the largest example of a difficult thing, because we used a Pokédoll exactly for the purpose that it is designed for the game. We used the Pokédoll and we escaped the battle that we were in. So is it a glitch that happens to mean that we were considered to have won the battle and advanced the storyline? You tell me.
Yeah, but fortunately, if you did not like that, we do have a Glitchless Plus category called Glitchless Classic, where it bans that trick, as well as RNG manipulation entirely. So if you like the more pure gameplay, then that category is an option as well.
Yeah, you can still do the desum manipulation, right? So you can force getting a Nidoran more easily, but you can't get one with guaranteed stats. And you'll see something a flyway point or digway point here again.
Correct me if I'm wrong as well. Didn't we mentioned the instant text? I know it's not in this game, but wasn't that also a point of discussion as well? Or am I misremembering?
Oh yes. Yeah, at one point it was not allowed, and also made into a separate category. But then I mean, I've been part of the community since 2021, so I was not around that time. It eventually got re-allowed.
Yeah, it's another example of something where there's nothing that connect. The kind of definition that we've often tried to use is, did the memory get corrupted between being used for multiple different things when you did this glitch? And the answer with instant text is no. The instant text flag is a flag used by the game, and it uses it to display text faster in that bike shop, and then it simply never turns it off again when you're done with the bike shop, if you exit the bike shop in a certain way. So we have to call it not a glitch, because if we do call it a glitch, it gets really confusing how to define a lot of other things we have to initiate.
Alright, so here we are in Silph. Normally a very long place. It's 10 or 11 floors. We obviously know the fastest way through this place, so we're not going to be here for that long. So you might notice the past few fights I've been using an X accuracy and horn drill, and we don't do this for every single fight. One of the major drawbacks of horn drill being so powerful is it has 5 power points, so not every fight goes this way. We do get a lot of PowerPoint healing items to refill Horn Drill PP.
Yeah, basically anywhere where we can one-shot with something other than Horn Drill, we will do that, because we need to conserve the PP.
Yep. Alright, now we gotta do a bit of menu here. I fought that optional trainer for the Earthquake TM, because Earthquake is really powerful, and also Nidoking will get the stab bonus for, which is known as same type attack bonus, along with the 90 base power that Earthquake already has on it. Gonna use a couple of rare candies as well. Alright. In the normal route, without the extra experience, I would actually delay that menu, delay the rare candies, but I can use the rare candies here, be a slightly higher level. This is actually the point where the normal route and the Gentleman Candy route, in terms of experience, starts to catch up with each other.
I love the phrase "Gentleman Candy route." There's something about the way that it is phrased that makes me giggle.
I just called it Gentlemandy back in the day.
Gentleman, that's awesome. Oh my goodness.
I started speedrunning Pokemon Yellow in 2016, so it's been quite a long time for me.
That's wild. I'm curious, Mchan, actually, because I for the longest time I've known you for stuff you've done with like some Zelda games, like Link's Awakening. So how did you get into Pokemon Yellow speedrunning of all things?
Oh yeah, so I got into Red first, and then later on in Yellow, and then later I got into Yellow. I got into those games just by coincidence, basically. I watched GDQ and I saw the glitchless run. I saw some glitchless runs on GDQ, and I thought, wow, Pokemon speedruns are actually really cool. So I decided to give it a try, and I ended up really enjoying. Yellow in particular, and just kind of stuck with it.
We have a really incredible community in Pokemon speedrunning. There's dedicated communities for basically every Pokemon game, including every side game that you can think of. There's an incredible community around, for example, Pokemon Coliseum for the GameCube. It's very, very thoroughly played game. So for the more mainstream ones like Pokemon Red and Yellow, the only reason they're played less these days is because they've just been beat to death with a hammer by speedrunning.
Yeah. I gotta give a huge shout out in particular to the 2 or 3 other people that have played or ran Go-Go Polyrath, which was a GBA e-reader game that nobody knows about. A friend and I whipped out the e-reader at like a gaming club meeting in college, and it's Dragster, but with Polyrath. That's literally all it is.
Oh man.
So if y'all wanna get your you dip your toes into Pokemon speedrunning, it takes like 10 seconds to do a run. That's a great way to start.
Yeah, we have a lot of different resources, for and several different routes, for different levels of runners, beginner, advanced, even intermediate. So the community is pretty helpful. Oops, that means to name Lapras.
While you're
this is all the Pokemon that we're gonna be getting for the rest of the run. So we got that Lapras for Strength and Surf. And here we are fighting Jesse and James for the final time. Again, Jesse and James are not very exciting, so we just earthquake them. But yeah, like you said, I'm most people know me for Mario and Zelda, and Pokemon's not something that I normally run. But I happen to have a lot of fun with this, and that's just what kept me at this game on and off for the past 5 years.
So sick. And speaking of your Zelda roots, actually, if you don't mind, well, first of all, we had a $5 donation come in from Avethis with no comment, but thank you so much for that. Additionally, speaking of Zelda, we had a couple of incentives open up, actually. So for the Link's Awakening run that is coming up tomorrow after our silly block, we have a sprite choice bid war between a whole bunch of cool different options that I don't have time to go over all of them. You should just go hit !donate and look yourself. But there is also a donation goal to take Marin on a date. Because why wouldn't you? It's Marin. So that is a $700 goal. I know we can absolutely do that. And not only that, Link's Awakening is a good chunk of the way into tomorrow after our silly block. It's about 3 p.m. my time, Eastern time. So I absolutely want to see that get met, y'all. Yeah,
that's a really good range, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, keep going.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, for those who don't know, we are Powered with Pride, and this event, we are raising money for Point of Pride. If you've never heard of them before, Point of Pride is a trans-led 501c3 nonprofit, and they specialize in different forms of direct support to trans and queer folks, such as offering grants to cover gender-affirming surgery to trans folks who can't afford it. They're doing a lot of incredible, tangible work in the queer community, and that's really important to us because there are a lot of amazing queer people in our community and in the speedrunning community as a whole. So we're very proud and grateful to be supporting them, and we would really appreciate it if you considered supporting as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get you all the link here. It's !donate. And you can also mark your donations to go towards one of those incentives I mentioned, like taking Marin on a date, because it's just the right thing to do. Or
Absolutely.
What sprite we're going to use for that randomizer run.
Now, Jaxler, did
Yes.
you know that in Pokemon Gen 1 and 2, if you use cut while in tall grass, it will literally cut down the tall grass.
So I knew it was a thing in Gen 3. I did not know it was a thing in Gen 1 and 2.
Yep.
That is
And
fascinating.
About 5 or 6 years ago, I was just completely joking one night about like, somebody said something like, "Hey, like everyone knows that was a thing." It's so obvious. Like I had never known that was a thing the entire time I played Pokemon until somebody mentioned it offhand one day, and so I was like, I didn't know that. I made a
Also,
tweet
fun
about
fact,
it.
obviously there's no webcam, but I actually am not holding the controller at all. It goes down automatically here.
Yeah, on the biking road, yeah. But I said that on a tweet that like I didn't know this was a thing, and it blew up and got like tons of likes, and then it blew up so much that some people in the speedrunning community started routing it, and they found a place in Gen 2 where it is now part of the route to use cut on grass to avoid getting encounters.
That's so cool. Cause when I was a little kid, I did it by accident, and I was blown away because they had like a whole animation for it. But I didn't even realize it. I thought it was just a Gen 3 thing. That's very interesting. But I always love it when those like accidental things happen. There's a game that I ran that has a very tight money routing requirement, and there was just like an Easter egg that you can trigger that we found out about through like a Japanese like equivalent to like a Game Informer magazine, and it saved like a minute and a half.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild when those kinds of things happen.
Yeah.
Alright, so here we are in Safari Zone. We don't need to catch any Pokemon here, so we just gotta go straight to the end and get Surf. So I'm gonna get the Forest Store. There's a Forest Store I'm gonna be getting here, so I'll be picking that up. Also, while we were going through Silph during the rival fight, that is the first fight where the rival did start to evolve his Eevee into Flareon or Vaporeon if you lost the first rival fight. So that is the point of the run where the routes do start to diverge. The other example is in Cycling Road, there is a PP up that I could get on Vaporeon and use it on Hornbill, so that Hornbill can actually have 6 power points. Because there is a fight later in one of the rival fights later on where you actually use Hornbill 6 times, because that is just how the fight works in that route. So yeah, at this point, the two routes start to diverge here. Alright, so we got Surf, and we can leave. So we're gonna go ahead and dig out of here, and we're gonna be finally taking on our next gym. If you've actually paid attention, this is the longest stretch of the game where we did not do a gym fight.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, so this is the fourth. We're doing this as our 4th gym now. We're actually going to be taking on the Saffron City Gym, which is a psychic gym. So you might be wondering, I have a Nidoking who's a poison type. Psychic is strong against poison. So that means that this fight is going to be really scary. I'm really nervous about this. Please pray for me, chat.
Chat, send us your energy.
Yeah. Wait, did I not save?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. I think I'll be fine. I'm at like what, 90-something HP. I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean it's Sabrina. It's dangerous, right?
Level 50. Oh no.
A level 50 Alakazam. Like you're.
Oh, okay. Use an X defense.
Be a little
okay.
careful here.
Flash fail. Okay. All right. We win.
Flash, but it failed. That's some time save right there.
Alright, so this is actually a really easy fight. If you set up on we set up on Abra because Abra only knows Flash, which doesn't matter because we use an X accuracy, and that sets us up for the whole fight.
I got so bamboozled.
No, we were completely joshing you there. Like this is the most free fight in the entire game because you can't Gen 1 miss.
Oh, that's right, because it removes the concept of accuracy.
Yeah. Yeah, and Jackson, you're asking about like how do we find tricks sometimes. I'll give you an example of an accidental one we did that I found. The fast options trick in Pokemon Yellow is completely useless in Gen 1. There's some reasons you might use it in manipulations in Gen 2 before the game even starts. But what it is you press the left button at the same frame you press the A button to enter the options menu, and it shifts all the options left by one as you enter the options, because it doesn't clear out the state of your controller as it's rendering each option. So it's like, oh, I need to render this option, I need to move it to the left, I need to render this option, I need to move it to the left. So you can set all your options faster by doing that than by going into the options and clicking them one by one. However, there's an extreme downside of this, that it sets your earphone mode to earphone 3 from mono. So if you've ever listened to the game in the headset, it sounds horrible.
Oh no.
But that was found completely accidentally, and I just happened to accidentally press a directional button the same time I pressed A to open the options. And the video of me finding it is just it breaks my brain. I'm like, what is happening right now? What happened to my options menu?
I love the process of something like that happening by accident, and then the process of reverse engineering it to figure out, okay, now how do we do that again?
Yeah, the post of, guys, please explain to me what the heck I just did. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Jarvis, please summarize what I just
Okay, so this is the Hypno Trainer, because the second Pokemon's a Hypno. Usually pretty scary if you're coming in here with low HP, but I'm at high HP, so this should be fine. If I get a crit on the Hypno, that would be the best crit. That way we can avoid damage and have a really good HP for Koga. I am going to save for Koga, because there's an extremely rare chance where I am guaranteed to die if something were to go really wrong in that fight. Okay, Poison Gas, that's good.
Nice.
Alright, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and save. So the way the Koga fight works is he has 3 Venonats and a Venomoth. So we set up an X accuracy on the first Venonats, and then use an X speed on the second Venonat, and then use Horn Drill all the way through. The first Venonat has Sleep Powder, which makes us fall asleep, and that is really bad. Because we have to use the Pokeflute. The Pokeflute can wake up Pokemon in this game, believe it or not. Now also, Psychic and Low are special, and if we get critical hits and special fall simultaneously, then I am guaranteed to die, because at that point I'll be heal looped, and then it is not worth playing the fight out. We didn't see that this time, so we win. Hopefully, if I don't get crit. Okay, we're good. So yeah, there's a lot more to that fight, but fortunately we didn't get to see the worst of that. Also, something you notice on Sabrina is after we fought Sabrina, Sabrina tried to give us our TMs, but we have exactly 20 items in our bag, which is how many items we can carry at a time. How many unique items we can carry at a time. And so when a gym leader is trying to give their TM, they can't, which also skips them explaining what the TM does. So we try to route in as many items as we can to make sure that we get 20 items so that we don't get them from future gym fights.
That is so clever that it makes me slightly upset. That is... Oh my goodness. I have a question for you, if you don't mind. So we kind of mentioned earlier how, like, there are certain things, like, comparing this game to Pokemon Red speedruns where, especially early on, like, certain fights were a bit easier and more consistent because you had, like, a bit more leveling. I'm curious, is there anything in Pokemon Yellow that, or in this run in particular, that maybe either is harder than what Pokemon Red has to do, or maybe complicated in a different way?
So this is actually kind of the point of the game where the fights in Yellow start to become harder than Red.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You want to take over the explanation? I gotta focus on this menu.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, there was a change between Red and Yellow to fix the fact that most of the endgame Pokemon had agility and would use it as if the Psychic type was super effective on Nidoking, so they would just opt into using agility over and over and over again and never attack you. So you have free setup on a lot of the end game fights in Pokemon Red. Whereas in Pokemon Yellow, they either I can't remember off the top of my head for some reason whether they fixed the AI to not use non-damaging moves that way, or if they removed agility from the move pools of these trainer Pokemon or otherwise. They would have like changed the ordering at which you learn them or something. But the point is, they made it much harder because you could get damaged immediately at the beginning of these fights while you're trying to do the setup.
Interesting. Okay, so it takes basically it makes it maybe more consistent early on, but trades that for more volatility in the late game. That must be terrifying from a runner perspective of just like, oh, as the run goes on, there's more risk incurred.
Yeah. We call the end game.
I like that a lot more in this game. It always makes it really exciting in this game.
Yeah, a lot of adrenaline at the end of a Pokemon Yellow speedrun.
Yeah.
I call it the crit gauntlet is what happens, because you can get crit and killed by Giovanni, and then again by Lorelei, and then again I don't think by Bruno is basically free. You can definitely get killed by Agatha, but not necessarily by crits, more so by confusion. There's a really interesting thing there with the repel timing, that if you repel from exactly the bottom corner of the water there, you can pick up the blizzard without your repel running out, and then you can use a menu to use a repel and teach blizzard and have your bag space to pick up the key at the end after picking up blizzard all in one time. So it's a very fun menu. But
in Pokemon Mansion, now repels do prevent wild Pokemon encounters, but they only prevent wild Pokemon that are lower level than you.
Yes.
And so there is about a 5% chance where you can get an encounter here, and we did not see a single encounter here. We gotta run. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. You see more of those encounters on the Blizzard route because you are lower level when you go through the mansion. And that's part of the variance I was talking about. The Blizzard route trades some speed for higher variance.
Alright, so now we're going to Blaine's Gym. So the puzzle behind Blaine's Gym is we have to answer a bunch of questions. One thing you're gonna notice is it's gonna look like I'm saying yes to every single question. But for questions that require no to be answered, I'm actually pressing B to save inputs, physically selecting no. And that is all there's to say until we get to Blaine.
Yeah. The sequence A, B, 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 A, B will be forever ingrained in my brain. Tombstoney.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite one. When are we getting that as an actual move? Come on, Game Freak.
Get with the times, Game Freak.
Just a reskin of Rock Tomb. That would be funny.
Alright, so to explain Blaine, so we're going to use Earthquake all the way. We're setting an X attack on the Rapidash. The Rapidash has Stomp, Growl, and Fire Spin, and Takedown. We don't want to see Growl, otherwise I have to use an extra Earthquake, and then do a slower strat later on, in a later fight. And then I also don't want to see Fire Spin because that wastes time. It's a trap move. Now, if I do get Growl, then that means the Arcanine takes 2 hits, 2 Earthquakes to beat, and one of the moves that Arcanine has is Fire Blast, and there is a 1% chance where if it crits me with Fire Blast, then I am guaranteed dead at full HP.
This is a great example of the complexity of routing again in Pokemon Yellow. There was a question always of whether it was better to set up on the first or the second of Blaine's Pokemon based on their movesets, and basically impossible to strictly calculate which was a better option. So a Pokemon speedrunner named Stringflow ran Monte Carlo simulations of just literally running the game over and over and over again from different RNG points to figure out which was technically faster and or safer to do. And that was a rerouting decision after my initial routing that was improved by that simulation that they set up on the second Pokemon now.
So after so long, we are finally doing the 4th gym.
I completely forgot that we haven't even done Celadon yet.
Yeah. The badge routing is hilarious in this.
I forgot that Kanto is secretly a Metroidvania this entire time.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You know, all these Kanto games, like the most interesting in my opinion is the routing in the Let's Go games, where you delay the 3rd gym for a very long time. This is how the routing works in that game. But yeah, so we just use Ice Beam here. I think the reason we do Erica 7 is because Ice Beam would normally be a range, right? For some of these Pokemon?
Yeah,
Is that correct?
you have
Okay.
to delay doing Erica forever because even with all of the tech we have, you don't kill the Pokemon reliably without levels too.
Yeah, and I think one of the Erica's Pokemon has a trap move, which would be pretty devastating if we have to deal with that.
Absolutely. I had tried at one point trying to route like thrashing them, but you just don't have enough damage.
While we're absolutely clobbering the Pokemon in this gym, would y'all mind if I talked about what we're raising money for?
Yep.
Yeah, so we are raising money for Point of Pride. If y'all don't know about Point of Pride is a trans-led and 501c3 nonprofit, and they have served tens of thousands of people in all 50 states and even over 100 countries by providing access to gender-affirming health and wellness services. Some of which include their their Electrolysis Support Fund, which is a scholarship-like program that provides direct financial assistance to trans femme people in need of permanent hair removal services they couldn't afford otherwise. All of your donations are going towards directly supporting the queer and LGBT community, and with your donations, you can also put them towards some incentives that we've got coming up. During the next run, we've got a bid war determining whether or not we are going to spare or kill a certain Lord British. And then coming up much further on tomorrow for our Link's Awakening randomizer run, we have an incentive to take Marin on a date. Because that, honestly, I think we need to take Marin on the date because Marin's best girl. I'm sure you would agree, Mchan, as someone who's run Link's Awakening in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Marin.
Yeah, and also for the randomizer, we've also got a heaping of choices to replace our character sprites, such as Kirby, the bunny from Link's Awakening, Martha the Mermaid. I think I remember who that one is. And then some characters from the Oracle games as well. So, if you have a preference, you could forever change the fate of that run at Power Up or Pride 26.
Alright, so this fight is pretty annoying, usually in red, but in yellow, you usually come into this fight with significantly higher HP, so you're usually not in any chance of dying. The only thing that could go wrong in this fight is if you take damage, then you would be in a situation where you need to heal for Giovanni, which is the 8th gym, the 8th gym leader, but that's really it. But we are going to stay for Giovanni, as Giovanni is extremely scary in this game. So the thing that makes Giovanni really scary is his first Pokemon is Ductrio, Ductrio can either go for Earthquake Dig, Sand Attack, or Fissure. Giovanni can also go for an item. So we either want to see Giovanni use an item or Fissure for the best case scenario. Because the next Pokemon, which is Persian, do I heal? I'm fine. His next Pokemon is Persian. Persian can use either Fury Swipes or Slash. So if I've already taken damage from Dugtrio, then I have to hope that I don't get hit by Sand Slash, or by Persian.
The Dugtrio's Fissure will whiff on you if it uses it because it has to not only hit them 30% chance, but also has to outspeed you. So us using
There we go.
Right there is perfect because
Nice.
we then cannot be damaged by the Fissure.
Alright, so at this point, we survive against the... Oh my gosh,
Oh,
let's go.
guard spec the value.
Oh man,
Awesome.
let's go. So, what makes Dugtrio really scary in this fight is that Dugtrio has a 20% chance of critting you, which is unbelievably massive when you get to this point of the run.
The crits in Gen 1 are based on your Pokemon's base speed. Dugtrio having a very fast base speed, making its crits very likely.
Man, I don't want to say anything. There's still some bit of run left, so I don't want to say how this run's going just yet. Yeah, that was a really good fight. Really happy with that. Damageless Giovanni, you don't see those very often.
We've only gotten through one of the next 5 gauntlet options.
Okay. So now we gotta do a bit of menuing here. Gotta go ahead and use our Super Repel. And then, since I got a damageless Giovanni fight, I don't need to heal. So I can just go ahead and use the Carbos in order to gain a bit of speed, and then bike to the Indigo Plateau. And we're going to be fighting our rival again. And this rival fight shouldn't be too hard, especially in our current HP. So the strat here for Vaporeon is X accuracy and Horn Drill all the way. And for Flareon, you have to do something a little bit different here. That's by using the X special, and then Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Earthquake. Vaporeon can't be defeated quite as easily as Flareon.
So then, what makes horn drilling through the fight not an appealing option? Because you mentioned that you would prefer Flareon for that reason, right?
Yeah. Do we actually
You need
know
focus
why?
area.
I think it's just a PP consumption.
Oh, right, because it only has 5 PP. That's right.
Yeah.
And there's setup involved and stuff, so it just anytime you use it, it involves complexity. In the tasks, we actually don't ever get Earthquake, and then we teach Fissure from Giovanni, so we have both Fissure and Horn Drill, so we have more PP to work with for both of those moves, and then we also have a ground move to fight Agatha with.
So if you paid attention there, the rival said we need more practice. Yeah, maybe I do need a bit more practice in this run. Alright, so my HP is actually really good here, so I can actually do a different strat in this late game. So one of the things that we can get here in the bad reception area is a Max Ether. So we're going to go ahead and use it in order to fill up our power points, and also skip the Pokemon Center in the Indigo Plateau after Victory Road. So Victory Road is a pretty straightforward dungeon. We do have to avoid all the trainers. Now Victory Road is also in a similar situation as Pokemon Mansion, where repels only prevent lower level Pokemon, so we do have a chance of encountering wild Pokemon here. Okay, nice. Normally you repel there, but I usually like to do a different repel route, and that's by repelling at the beginning of Victory Road, because the other repel route makes the movement really tight if you mess up. We just have to go ahead and solve the puzzles here. The puzzle is by using strength on these switches. And there's a bit of a fun trick here.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, we didn't quite see it.
There we go. There
we
we
go. Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna say people need to donate for that. We need donation incentive impromptu for. I'm getting a swag boulder. That's what we call it. Swag boulder.
swag boulder.
You can also swag PC in this game. And swag cell separator when you save Bill and for Bill's PC.
But wait, that's a glitch though, right? I thought this was a glitchless run. Did we?
Invalidated.
I'm keeping my eye on you. I'm keeping my eyes on you. You just see the pop up from like Fallout 4. Everyone disliked that.
Alright, so this is the floor where I can get random encounters. It's not very likely, but when it does happen, it's really unfortunate because this is so late into the run.
In the tasks, I use swag boulder to do RNG manipulation to avoid encounters.
Oh, and by the way, swag bouldering is actually slower to do by 2 frames, but you know, in a marathon, you know, you want to be entertaining, so.
Emotionally loses like, in-game loses like 2 frames, but emotionally saves like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Alright, just gotta go around these trainers here. Okay. Oops. Alright, so because I'm doing a different route here, I'm gonna go ahead and use an elixir. Wow, this floor is incredibly laggy.
Yeah, boulder takes forever to push. But yeah, basically the swag boulder thing is possible because it puts the dust of the boulder based on the direction of your character and not based on where the boulder is going.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I just did a couple more there for the fans. Okay, no encounters. Oh man, this run is crazy.
Can you get encounters on the ice beam route in?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. So now we have to deposit our Pokemon because it is faster on the Hall of Fame. They don't show up on the Hall of Fame.
Yep, faster deposit them than the Hall of Fame. Oh, no fast PC though.
Sorry. Alright, and then I'm also going to buy some full restores. Normally you don't do this, but the Elite Four can go pretty badly if I'm really unlucky. Shouldn't happen, but we'll see. Alright, now I'm also going to save here because I am dead to a crit at full HP. Alright, so Lorelei, the first Elite Four, has some very specific AI. You want to talk about that?
I don't remember it. I'm sorry. It's been too long.
Okay. So the Dugong
Oh, it's the
has
rest issue. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dugong I think it actually is it in red that it uses rest turn 1 much more often? In yellow they changed it.
I think it's the other way around. I think because in red he always uses rest turn 2.
Okay. Yeah. And in yellow it always uses rest turn 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's mainly the Dugong that you have to worry about, and then as soon as you survive Dugong, then the rest of the Pokemon you just Horn Drill.
Yeah. Right.
Now if Dugong uses Bubble Beam, that is it has a chance to lower my speed, which means I have to use an X speed, which would be pretty scary. And that also makes Agatha really scary as well later on. But fortunately, we didn't see that. go ahead and use a 4-star here. And then I'm also gonna heal just to be safe for the rest of the Elite Four fights.
Nice.
I'm not that likely to die on this next Elite Four fight, but in case something goes really poorly.
You can like get burned by fire punch, right? It's like
Yeah, you can get burned.
nothing really that matters, but it's annoying.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You can set up on Onyx to avoid some of that weirdness, but then you lose time if it like digs, and then you have to wait for it to dig back up.
Yeah, it does dig. Okay, X defend, no damage, let's go. Yeah, so we set up on Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan has Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, and Ice Punch. Ice Punch can freeze, and Fire Punch can burn. Now, when you get frozen in Gen 1, you cannot thaw. Unless you get hit by a fire move.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Yep.
You're just stuck.
That took me a second to process. I was like, what?
That happens in Stadium too, right? Like if you get frozen in Stadium, you're just stuck.
I don't know. I've never played Stadium.
I think Stadium has the same like battle rule set as Gen 1 generally, so yeah. But another thing I wanted to mention on that Bruno fight is it's an example of the difficulty of the routing of the order of moves in your moveset. You have to move between the second and fourth move repeatedly, which is really annoying. But the moves are set up in that order because it takes 7 frames to move between each move with your cursor. So you try to you put the move that you use most often in the first slot.
Oh
and
boy,
then,
here we go.
Oh, we're confused.
Oh
No.
boy, here we go. So this is why I bought the extra fuller stores. Okay, we
Fucking
snapped,
confused no
but
more.
please.
Took damage, substitute broke,
Oh,
critical hit, lick.
Uh-oh, please don't paralyze. Oh, come on, dude.
Oh no! Mega Drain.
Oh man, come on.
Okay, so
Alright,
now
alright.
do you need to use an
Yeah,
X
I'm still gonna force store.
Okay. But then you'll still have the speed drop because there's a bug in Gen 1 that if you get paralyzed, the speed drop is not fixed by a full restore.
What? Is it fixed by like a berry or like a paralyze heal, or is it?
No, there's no berries in Gen 1.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting mixed up.
Yeah, hopefully the rest of the fight goes well.
Did we save before Agatha?
I did not.
No, you did not.
Oh, interesting.
I think I should be fine still.
Yeah, like unless something absolutely insane happens.
Yeah. I have a ton of full restores, so
Yeah.
I should generally be fine. Okay, snapped out of it. That's good. Yeah, even in regular attempts, this can happen too. Okay, Dream Eater, good. All right, we're good. We're good.
Hey. Wow, that was an adventure. That's what happens in Pokemon Yellow speedrun anyway.
Yeah. Alright, so next up is Lance. So Lance will lead with Gyarados. So we're going to set up with an X special. We are dead in one hit to a crit. Lance's Gyarados will always use Hydro Pump because it's smart AI. However, Hydro Pump does have, I think, a 20% chance to miss, which is definitely what we want to see.
But also, as a fast Pokemon, it has a very high chance to crit.
Yeah.
So
definitely saving here.
that was another great
Now,
example of like that definitely could have gone a lot worse on Agatha.
Oh yes, definitely. And normal full in regular attempts, you don't normally buy forest stores there unless you really need it. So you have like the 2 forest stores that I picked up going into that fight, and you really don't want to use the 2 forest stores until the last 2 fights. Oh, yes.
Let's
Oh,
go.
my goodness. So normally if you've taken damage from Hydro Pump, then there's two different situations here, where you either set up on this Dragonair or the second Dragonair, depending on your HP. The second Dragonair, if you have to set up on it, has Bubble Beam, and which Bubble Beam can lower your speed, and it's really bad if your speed gets dropped in this fight.
Yeah, the lore of the implications of this are horrifying, but Earthquake kills the Dragonairs in the Blizzard route. It's like this should not make any sense. The Dragonairs are like half flying, slithering beings.
Yeah.
They look like snakes to me. I don't know. I'm not sure I buy that.
Alright,
I think in a lot of the 3D games they like float, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, alright, so we got... Yeah, they do float. Okay, so we got one more fight, and that is the champion fight, which is our rival yet again. Chat, I want you guys to spam live, because I am dead to full HP. I am dead from full HP to a crit. Sandslash will always lead with Earthquake, and that is the last Pokemon where I can die. So please... I hope I... Oh, I didn't even save. Okay,
you didn't save?
We're good. Hopefully we're good.
Oh no!
Here we go.
I should be fine, hopefully.
Oh.
I went muscle memory there.
It's all good. We're good. Everything's gonna be fine. Nothing can go wrong, right? This is
Hopefully.
this is Pokemon Red. It's just Pokemon Red now. Everything's fine.
All right, come on. So we're gonna use an X special
Gen 1
here.
miss.
Come on, live.
Nope. No Gen 1 miss. Okay.
Please!
HP bar. Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Yes!
Okay.
Yes!
Okay.
Let's go!
Okay. And you could have also with Gen 1 missed the Ice Beam, but we survived
That's
that.
true, that's true. I could also Gen 1 miss the Alakazam too.
Oh, because of the Earthquake? Okay.
Yeah.
Woo.
Alright, now the next Pokemon is Executor. I have to set up an X accuracy. Executor can use Hypnosis, which means I have to wake up my Nidoking. Alright, let's go! That's it!
We take those.
Okay, but it's still not over yet because the Magneton is a very favorable range. I can still miss the range, but it's not likely that I'll miss the range. But we'll see what happens. Okay, let's go.
Okay. Oh
That's it.
Goodness.
Yeah, I think if I were doing, I would do a higher XP route for a marathon because of that range. That's a risky range to absolutely. Oh man, I am so relieved. That was intense.
Yeah. Whew. All right. So that is Pokemon Yellow. Deathless too. It is really hard to get a deathless run for this game, and I'm really happy we made it.
Yeah, that alone is rare.
Yeah. I guess the only major thing that went wrong is having to reset on the Viridian Forest manipulation. But even then, that one was a really fast reset.
And that wasn't even your fault. Like that was an IGT.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you everybody for watching. Time will be in a minute from now. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you Ty Kevin for joining along. I don't think I would have done it by myself, because there's a lot to go over in this game.
What's the time looking like? I don't have the... I just have the...
I think this is barely sub 2.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And also, thank you Jaxler for being on host. It was a lot of fun, giving the insights here. Okay, time's coming up, by the way. Time. 1:59:45.
Wow.
Yeah! Jeez!
Excellent marathon run.
Oh my goodness gracious. Y'all, I need y'all to go crazy or ridiculous in chat. And I need some love in the donations as well for Mchan. Again, blown away just by the display of skill and knowledge. What an incredible run. Great job, Mchan.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So for reference, my PB is 156.17. So even with the marathon strats, being that close to PB is still really good. So I am very happy with this run.
Are you ahead of my PB then now, Mchan?
What is your PB?
I want to say it's 156.22, but it's been so long since I've looked at
Oh,
RTA.
then yeah, just by a little bit, yeah.
Like 5
I have been
seconds.
pushing for. I've been trying to push for 155 for a while. You know, if you like what you saw, then feel free to follow me. Twitch.tv/Mchan338. You know, I do Yellow as well as. But my main speed projects are of the Zelda series and Mario series. But I do Yellow every once in a while. So if that's your type of content, feel free to follow me on my channel. Also, feel free to check out Ty Kevin as well. Ty Kevin is a very knowledgeable Pokemon runner as well. So if you like his insights, definitely check him out too.
Yeah, mainly check out my YouTube Tyke73 speedruns. I got tons of really in-depth Pokemon Yellow stuff and other task stuff on there, including my most recent task of Carnage Rally, the infamous weird box art game for the GBA.
All right. Yeah, with that, I don't have much else to say. That is it. So thank you everybody for watching, and keep supporting Power Up with Pride. We're raising money for an excellent cause.
Yes,
thank
thanks
you
for the support, everyone.
watching.
All right. Thank you so much again, Mchan, as well as Kevin, for just an amazing showcase of Pokemon Yellow. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break to start getting set up for the next run. We'll see you all again very shortly.
Oh, are you having any...
All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to Power Up with Pride 2026, benefiting Point of Pride. My name is Jaxler, and thank you all so much for tuning in for yet again an unbelievable Pokemon Yellow run. And unfortunately, my time on the hosting mic is coming to an end very quickly. And I'd like to introduce to y'all who's going to be taking care of y'all for the next couple of runs. I've got my friend Sporadic Erratic joining me. What's up?
Hey, Jaxler, thanks so much. I'm so hyped to be here. Happy Pride, everybody.
Absolutely, happy Pride, y'all. I'm. How can you not be overwhelmed at the amount of information in something like that Pokemon Yellow run? Oh my goodness gracious!
I definitely could not process it all and also get ready for the shift, so I'm gonna have to catch the VOD for sure.
Absolutely, and if you want to catch some of those VODs, they will be going up on Power Up with Pride's YouTube channel after the event. So if you scroll down on the Twitch page, you should be able to find a link to Power Up with Pride's YouTube channel as well. Because frankly, I might need to. I was hosting that run, and I might need to go back because there's probably things I missed. I was right there.
It's true. It's the hosting experience. Y'all are getting some kind of like meta information right now. The hosting experience, it would be so great if we could just like 100% just stare slack-jawed at the run the entire time the way that I really want to. But we also have to do other stuff as hosts.
Yeah.
And so definitely when you're hosting for a run that you're like really, really excited about, you have to go back and rewatch it so you can actually see all of the run.
Absolutely.